The past is a memory, the future is a projection. The only place love exists is now. Most relationships don't fall apart because of explosive fights. They fade in the quiet moments when we stop being present. Maybe you think presence is just about listening. It's not. Presence isn't just about hearing someone's words. It's about the energy you bring into each interaction. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a conversation and felt the tension before a single word was spoken? Like the outcome was already decided? That's because conversations don't start with words. They start with energy. And this energy is either presence or the past. Eckhart Tolle puts it simply. Most of our suffering in relationships comes from bringing the past into the present. We don't see people as they are. We see them through layers of old memories. Ours, our partners, maybe even our parents. And when we do that, we're not truly present. We're reacting to the past instead of experiencing the now. And when the past controls the present, real connection dies. But here's the shift that changes everything. Imagine if you could meet your partner, not as a collection of past moments, but as they are, right now. Imagine if every interaction felt fresh, open, and alive instead of scripted by old wounds. That's what being fully present does. It breaks the cycle, dissolves the weight of the past, and allows for real connection. But how do we break free? How do we stop carrying yesterday into today and truly be present with the people we love? In this video, we'll explore how to shift from unconscious reactions to real presence so that you can experience your relationships as they are, not as they were. To understand why presence is so difficult, we must first recognize how our minds operate. Think about this. When you interact with someone, are you really seeing them? Or are you seeing the version of them your mind has stored over time? Most people don't realize it, but we don't relate to others in the present. We interact with our past experiences, expectations, and unresolved emotions. You can hear it in the words we say. They always do this. I know exactly what they're going to say. They never change. This is what Eckhart Tolle warns us about. The mind loves certainty, even when that certainty keeps us stuck in suffering. We assume the person in front of us is the same as before, so we react as we always have. But reality is fluid. Every moment is new. So the question is, can you meet this moment without past interference? But if reality is always changing, why do we keep falling into the same emotional patterns? The answer lies in how the past hijacks the present. Our minds aren't wired for presence. They're wired for prediction. And in order to predict, the mind pulls from the past, which leads to a cycle that repeats in every relationship. Eckhart Tolle explains that this cycle persists because we identify too deeply with the mind's stories. If we want to change our relationships, we must step out of this unconscious repetition and into awareness. So how do we escape? How do we stop carrying yesterday into today? Here's the good news. There is a way out. And presence is the key to breaking the cycle. Imagine a song stuck on repeat. You've heard it so many times that you stop listening, you just assume you know every note. This is how we treat relationships. But when you truly listen, really listen, you hear things you never noticed before. Likewise, when you meet someone without the weight of past interactions, you give them space to be who they are in this moment. And in doing so, you allow yourself to experience them, maybe for the first time. You stop projecting and start perceiving. This is the power of presence. As Eckhart Tolle teaches, presence is spaciousness. It allows something new to emerge instead of repeating old patterns. But understanding presence is one thing. Staying present when emotions rise, that's the real challenge. So here are two powerful practices to help you cultivate presence in your relationships. The first practice is to drop the narrative and feel the now. The mind loves stories like, they never listen to me, they always disappoint me. But these are stories, not reality. Instead of assuming, be curious rather than reactive. Try this. The next time you're in conversation, listen as if you've never met this person before. What do you actually hear? What do you notice in their tone, their expression? Be open to this moment instead of past conclusions. Presence isn't about fixing, it's about allowing something fresh to arise. The second practice is to use conflict as a doorway to presence. When someone says something triggering, your instinct is to defend or shut down. Why? Because unresolved emotions from past experiences resurface, making it feel like you're reliving old pain. Instead of reacting, observe yourself from the outside. When you witness instead of engaging, you create space, not just for yourself, but for the relationship itself to evolve into something new. Eckhart Tolle explains that when one person stops playing the usual role in a conflict, the dynamic shifts. At first, the other person may feel confused, but in that stillness, something new can emerge. When someone triggers you, your body tightens, your heart races, your mind scrambles to defend itself. But what if, instead of reacting, you just paused? Just for a second, long enough to notice, is this really about them or about something deeper in me? Ask yourself, what is my body doing? What thoughts are rushing in? The more you practice these, the more you realize. You don't need to fix relationships. You don't need to control how others behave. You simply need to create space. When you stop reacting from conditioned responses, something remarkable happens. The energy of the relationship shifts. The other person may feel unsettled at first because you're not feeding the old dynamic. But over time, something surprising happens. Real connection has space to emerge, unburdened by expectation or history. This is why presence is not about fixing relationships. It's about freeing them from old scripts. So as we wrap up, presence is a skill, a practice, and ultimately a way of being. When we stop bringing the past into the present, we allow relationships to unfold with greater ease and authenticity. So here's a challenge. The next time you interact with someone close to you, practice presence. Pause before reacting. Notice your assumptions. Listen with fresh ears. Then come back and share. Did you feel a difference? Drop your experience in the comments. Let's grow together. I will leave you with these words from Eckhart Tolle. Be here completely, as if meeting life for the first time, every time. Until next time, stay aware, stay present, and keep evolving.